The biggest news of the day for the drop yesterday, the biggest news in Serato is Beatsource off. What's it called? Off something. Beatsource. No, I think it's just Beatsource Locker. I'm adding a word. Beatsource Locker. Can we get a round of applause? Beatsource Locker, people.
I'm over here adding words.
Beatsource Locker. Can we talk about Beatsource for a second? I don't know if you guys realize what a big deal this is and really where this industry is going, like the future of it all. Like, think about it, right? Beatsource, if you're not familiar, real quick, Beatsource is essentially a service, right? It's owned by Beatport and it's associated with DJ City. They're all kind of like the same conglomerate. And it is a way, it's a DSP, just like a Spotify or a Tidal or an Apple Music. They're a DSP, and it's a way that you can stream music, right? Just like Spotify or whatever, but it's fully integrated with all the DJ programs, Virtual DJ, Serato, Rekordbox, like every major DJ program, it's fully integrated. So you can stream music offline to DJ with without keeping it on your hard drive. Beatsource Locker, the new addition they just added today, allows you to keep up to 100 songs offline. So you can just have a locker. They call it a locker. And it's the first of its kind. It's never happened before, ever. And no other program has done it before within a DJ program. This is the first time ever you can legit keep a locker on your desktop or whatever, like 100 songs that you don't need. If you lose internet connection, you can still play all of those 100 songs. And to my understanding, it's going to go up a lot too. Those of you that are saying, it's not like 100 songs. And what are you going to do with that, right? I might play 250, 200, 250 throughout an entire wedding. So I get that, but that's going to go up a lot. They're working on that. It's going to get a lot bigger, but regardless, like that is the main, that's the main scary thing, taking this jump, like this jump going from owning your music and having a hard drive, right, full of music and DJing out, and going to like not owning any music and just streaming your music while you're DJing out. Like this is the equivalent to like when we went from like records and CDs to a computer. Like it's a very big technological jump. A lot of people are nervous about it. And I think that this locker technology is really going to help ease the worries because you can have some of this stuff offline. I mean, it's the future. Hear me out. So, growing up, depending on your age, right? Growing up, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you went to FYE and bought a CD, right? If you're around my age, bought a CD or went to a record store, bought a record. If you're a little older, or they've been around forever, right? Growing up, you a new song came out, you went and got the CD, you went and got the tape, you went and got the record. I remember searching 8 different stores with my mom when I was like 10 or 11 years old, trying to find the Backstreet Boys Millennium CD when that shit came out. I think I was like 10 or 11. We searched 8 stores. I remember we found it at Boscov's. Boscov's was selling them in the back corner where they sold tickets by the furniture section or whatever. No one thought to go there. No one even knew they even sold CDs. So like they had a whole stack of them. I remember going there like a last stitch effort, like the 6th or 7th store we went to, and we found it and they had a stack of them. I was like, holy shit. And I went home and called all my friends on the house phone and said, hey, they got a stack of the Millennium Backstreet Boys CDs at Boscov's and Violin. Check it out. Like that was a thing back then, right? If you wanted music, you had to buy it. You either listened to it on the radio or you bought it on a CD, you bought it on a record, you bought it on a tape. That's how you listen to music, right? Right? That's how we listen to music. How do kids now in the last 10, 15 years growing up, how do they listen to music? They streamed it, Think about anybody coming up. Think about anybody who's like a teenager, growing up in the last 10 years, living out their adolescence the last 10 years. They're streaming all their music. They don't own their music. Nobody owns CDs anymore. Everybody just goes to Spotify and streams on Spotify, streams it on Apple Music, Tidal, Beatsource, all that stuff. They just stream it. They don't own music. Nobody's used to owning music. So when this future generation of DJs comes up and becomes adults and jumps into our industry and starts, doing events and everything else, the thought of them downloading music and actually getting a hard drive and all that and like having to store music and build a library, that's like a pretty crazy thought to them. It's got to be because they're not used to owning it. So when you have services like this where you could just stream it right offline, I mean, if you were a Generation Z DJ that's coming up, that's starting out their career, wouldn't you just stream it offline? You wouldn't think anything of it. You wouldn't think twice about, oh, that's that, you wouldn't have these like, oh my God, or like, what if it cuts out? It's not going to work. Da, da, da. You wouldn't have any of these thoughts. You'd be all about it. So fast forward 10 years from now, everybody's going to be streaming their music. Technology's going to get even better. It's just going to be a no-brainer. It's really going to be a no-brainer. And, if you're worried about the technology, there's a lot of fail-safes that like are already built into Beatsource where you don't have to worry about it, like the offline locker. Like when you load a song on Beatsource, right? When you're streaming music on Serato, whatever program you're at, you load a song offline, from online, from Beatsource, it will not play until it's fully loaded all the way through. And that's a big, big like competitive advantage they have over like, let's say Tidal or SoundCloud, right? Because that they're also integrated. Though you can play it pretty much right away. Beatsource makes sure it loads the entire song before it'll play. So when you play that song, for a fact, you can have confidence in knowing that whole 3-4 minute song will play all the way through. So God forbid you lose internet in between or, the world ends or whatever, you have to go to the backups. You have that entire song. That song's not going to cut out halfway through. So like there's a lot of fail safes built in and a lot more coming where it's going to be it's just going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be easier. It's just going to be when you can make all your playlists online. Like they have the Beatsource has its own their own like DJ program now, but it's not the DJ live. It's like they basically made their whole online platform look like a DJ program. So you can set cue points, you can make playlists, you can like line everything up like right online. But like it's like a DJ like program. It looks like Serato essentially. You know what I mean? To do it, so it's like really easy, super intuitive to use. You do it all online. And then you just open up your computer and it's all set. Bam, done deal. Do it. You'll be able to do it mobilely soon. Like all that. Like there's so much technology coming out. I think it's like it literally is the future. They are changing the game. Like they're legit changing the game. Like I'm telling you, 10 years from now, nobody's gonna have hard drives no more. I mean, us old heads will have our hard drives. We'll still have them. We'll keep our 10 copies of our hard drives. Back in my day, and all. Well, and then the new debates are gonna be, all us old guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, well I bet you Beatsource doesn't have this track, this B-side record, this remix. I got this. You can't even get this remix no more. This remix isn't even on YouTube, right? That's gonna be the new argument or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Things are changing, people. Things are changing. I'm very, very, very excited about this and the future.